Hello, everybody. My name is Jonas Hopte, and this is my colleague, Charlie Roberts. And today we're going to discuss fast fashion with my colleague. And I'm going to stand here in the back with my laptop, and I'm going to be taking notes. And so, the first thing that we want to talk about is, what we invited him for was to provide your opinions on fast fashion. And I'm going to ask you a lot of questions.
All right.
So your personal opinion is like very important for us. Like we're studying this, and so just kind of having like a real person, talk about it, especially a college student with fast fashion is such a big deal to have you here. So just want to thank you for that. There are no right or wrong answers. Please feel welcome to express yourself freely during the discussion. This is all for you. This conversation will be recorded on tape. As you can see, we have the phone right here. This is only for the purpose of a class project, and only I and my professor will look at the tape, and also some of my colleagues. No names or personal information will be used in the report. So the discussion will last for about 30 minutes, or however long it takes you to answer the stuff. So as you can see, we're going to ask you to switch off your mobile phones, as I told you earlier. We're going to give everyone the chance to express their opinions during the conversation. You can express your opinions. So, are you clear with everything that's going to happen?
Yeah, I'm all good.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so the first question is how familiar are you with fast fashion?
So, by fast fashion, you mean, big kind of, retail stores that, kind of sell, almost anything?
Yeah. So, some normal things would be, so anything fast fashion could be, Zara, H&M, all those kind of things that have, multiple new products, usually at a cheaper price.
Yeah. I'm pretty familiar with it. I don't really, wear a lot of fast fashion clothes, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But, I definitely, I've been, go to a lot of malls and stuff, so, you always see them, and I always stop in and see what they have, but it's usually never, something that I'm like, yeah, I want this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. So, for how long do you think you've known the product?
Probably since, high school age, when you start to, actually, care about how you look and, you want to, dress, a little bit better than, you want to impress girls, you want to impress, everyone around you, you don't want to look like a bum.
Sure. So, what would you say is your impression of fast fashion?
I think it's pretty, they just like to keep it on trend, I feel like, they don't really, push any, real boundaries with, their clothes, but they don't really, hold back a lot. It's very just, whatever, the trend is, right now, they're gonna come out with a clothing line that looks exactly like that, just to kind of, keep up. So I don't think they really, push anything, but they don't really, take away from, any, fashion clothing, in general.
Okay. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with the, currently available, fast fashion?
Most of the clothes are pretty good. I can't really wear it because, none of their clothes, fit me at all.
Okay.
Because I just got big-ass legs, so, they don't, fit me, and, I'm a little thicker.
Mm-hmm.
So, they don't really, fit me very well. They're meant for, I feel like they're meant for, a very, specific audience. Tall, skinny dudes.
Okay.
I feel like that's, kind of, their, MO.
Yeah.
So, I feel like they kind of operate on that. But, for, kids who can, wear those kinds of clothes, they look good. So, I'm not going to, hate on someone for wearing, H&M. It's just not, my thing.
Oh, that makes sense. So, on a scale of, 1 from not satisfied at all to 7 as, very satisfied, where would you place yourself?
Probably just, right in the middle, 4.
4? Okay.
3 or 4. Again, I don't really wear any of it, so, it's not, But, it all looks good, on other people, so I don't really mind.
So, is there, any of, specific, fast fashion brands that you like the most? And what
I think H&M has, the best, kind of, range. I feel like just, something like Zara or something like that is very, it's, almost, there's, too much stuff. Some of the stuff is, very, outlandish and, kind of, strange, and I'm, just not for me. I'm pretty, I dress, relatively plain, considering, all things, so, I think H&M does the best to, keep everything kind of, pretty like minimal, I guess, and like just like stuff that looks good.
I feel that. So. Okay, that makes sense. So you said H&M, and so you said, like, I just want to reiterate so I can get this right. So you kind of like H&M the most because it's more like plain?
Yeah, it's very much like Zara just kind of feels like H&M seems like they have like a plan. You know what I mean? Like they like have like everything's like you know, they got like their jeans, they got like their shirts, they got like their sweatshirts, or like, you know, and like, you know, different versions of like that stuff. But like I feel like Zara is just kind of like, at least when I've ever been in like Zara's, it's just like it just feels like they just throw clothes in a hanger and they're like, oh, pants, like there's like 30 like different kinds of, like you can go through like the rack and like be like, these are jeans, like these are khakis, like these are like just look ridiculous, like it's just all like thrown together, which is like H&M feels a little more like planned out and feels a little more like a real like retail store, not just like clothes.
Okay. So like, which of like the fast fashion brands do you like the least?
I mean, probably Zara.
Zara?
I mean, that's just like, I just walk in there and I'm just like very confused as to like what's going on. Like, they have like so much stuff and like, there's always like huge crowds in Zara. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been to one, but like, at least the one I went to one and like there was literally just like people like throwing clothes on the ground. Like people were just like picking stuff up that they like and just like throwing hangers. I'm just like, this like doesn't seem like a well run like establishment. And like their clothes are just a little like too out there for me.
Fair enough. So, which specific features of like the currently available fast fashion like brands impressed you?
I mean, I think just like the amount of stuff. Like they just have like a ton of like different stuff that just like, and it's all very like there's no like, you know, you don't see like huge like logos on like Zara, like their stuff. So it's very like you can kind of wear them with anything, and like it's not like you're like if you get like a Nike like T-shirt or like an Adidas, like, you know, like a name brand like T-shirt, it's always like there's like huge like signage and stuff like that. But I feel like most of their clothes are like pretty like you can kind of wear them with anything, and doesn't like take like the name doesn't like, they don't like do it based on the name, they do it based on like a look instead.
Okay, that makes sense. So, like, which features, like, when you go into H&M, or, like, when you go into, like, any type of fast fashion place, which features, like, disappointed you the most?
I think definitely just, like, they just don't feel like well-run stores, I feel like. At least the ones I've been in, like, they don't feel like they're, like, well-run. They feel like they're very just, like, here, like, we'll just throw clothes up a little bit. Especially, like, Zara. Like, they just feel like they just, like, throw, like, some, like, I mean, they could have gotten that stuff at Goodwill, and, like, I would never notice. Like, it just feels like they just, like, got stuff and just, like, threw it on a hanger. Versus, I mean, and even, like, H&M's, like, a little better about that. Like, they try to keep it, like, pretty, like, you know, like, they try to keep, like, their categories in check. But, like, I mean, they still don't do, like, a great job. They just kind of feel like, I don't know, they feel, like, slightly, like, poorly, like, managed. At least the ones the ones I've seen are, like, the ones around me.
So like on what occasions would you ever go into like a fast fashion place and like buy fast fashion clothing?
I think like, I don't know. I would like, I go in them just to kind of like, it's usually like if I'm in the mall like doing something, like looking for something like more specific, and then like it's some, you know, sometimes you go into like a mall and you're like, I need to go to like this store and like get like a, you know, this sweatshirt, like 'cause it's like a cool sweatshirt or whatever. But with like H&M or Zara, they feel a lot more just, you can get like whatever you want there. Like they don't, there's no specifics. Like you just kind of go in there and like look and see like, oh, like what do they have like this month, or like what do they have like right now. Like it's not as much about like a specific piece of clothing, it's about like the whole.
Okay. So when you're not buying like fast fashion, or like when it's not in your reach, like what kind of similar types of like clothing would you like buy?
I mean, I'd say like, I usually like, I mean, I don't shop that much at fast fashion, but like I'd say like it's similar to a Macy's or a Nordstrom. Maybe not Nordstrom. Nordstrom's a little more like high end, but like Macy's or like a department store, something that just kind of has like just a huge selection, even if they're like separated by brand or something like that. It's still like kind of that same feel. It feels like a department store still.
Okay.
So yeah, department stores mostly is where I shop.
Um, so how likely would you be to recommend like fast fashion to a family member on a scale from like 1 is very unlikely to 7 is very likely?
I'd say probably like a 2 or a 3. I think it's very like, at least with fast fashion, they seem to like cater to like a very like one audience. So like, you know, they don't have a lot of clothes for like different types of people. It's very like, they want people with kind of like that ideal like that ideal body type and that like ideal like fashion sense to like go shop at them. So like if I have like family members that do, you know, shop like that and dress like that already, like I'll tell them, you know, maybe try out like one of those. But like if someone's like not into that type of stuff, I would never tell them to go there because it's just kind of a lot to like take in. If you're not like a huge like person who like, you know, if you just wear jeans and a t-shirt, like if you're just like one of, like you don't really care about how you know, you have like your style and you don't really want to switch it up. So I wouldn't recommend it to people who don't already like it already.
So if you were going to like try to convince your best friend to start buying fast fashion, like what would you say?
I mean, I would just tell them that it's like good looking clothing. It's not super like outlandish or anything like that. It's very like basic, and so that kind of like helps people. I think that like the amount of like kind of crazy things kind of deters people from buying like fashionable clothing. So, you know, letting them know that they have like a lot of stuff and like a lot of like different and it's mostly like pretty like just basic fashion wear, like I think that'd be like kind of like the key like points. And it's, I mean, it's pretty cheap, so like especially for college students it is really nice to have like a cheap place to buy like your clothes instead of having to go to like buy like super expensive name brands and stuff like that.
So like on the other end, if you were talking and you were trying to convince your best friend, what would you say to them to not buy fast fashion?
I would say that there's like a lot of problems with fast fashion. I feel like they kind of miss the point of fashion a little bit. Like the point of fashion is to kind of stand out and like dress like uniquely to like what you like. And I feel like those kind of places kind of perpetuate like everyone like here's what you need to wear, like so wear it, versus like wear what you want and then like decide how, like, you know. And if you do, like if you dress like other people, like that's just because you like it. It's not because you feel like forced to. But I feel like some of the big like fast fashion places kind of like really want you to like look like everyone else and like so then you kind of like fit in versus like kind of sometimes I feel like the point of fashion is to like stand out and kind of like be unique with yourself rather than like being like in, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So, what words would you use to describe like your ideal like fast fashion?
I would say something that's like the store or like the clothing in the store.
For both.
I would say so like for like the store, like something that's very just like well organized and it's very like set up well. So like you kind of you can walk in the store and like go to that section and know what you're gonna like see versus like sometimes when I go to like some of those stores, like you don't know what you're gonna like you go to like the men's section but you don't know really like what you're gonna get out of like, you know, the t-shirts or like, you know, button downs or pants or something like that. So I think being able to like give people like a good expectation of what they're gonna find is definitely nice just for like ease of shopping. And then I feel like for like their like stuff, I feel like definitely they need to like cater to like more like audiences. Like they only have like one style of like pant that you can wear, like versus like if you go to like say like Levi's or like you know a bigger like something that kind of is more specialized, you can get like, you know, like slim cut or like boot cut or like wide cut or, you know, like skinny jeans and stuff like that. And like I feel like with those places they kind of just have like one mold for everyone, and so I'd like to see them like try to like mix it up and do something for kind of for everyone rather than just like, you know, making it easy and like just making it super like just easy for like those people but not easy for other people to like try to wear like good fashionable clothes.
Okay. So if you had to describe like 3 specific features that you would consider most important in like the ideal like fast fashion like store, what would they be?
like easy to navigate. Like knowing what you're gonna get, so like just being able to tell like what section you're in and like what, like if it's t-shirts, it's like you can find a black t-shirt or you can find like a gold you can find like kind of like everything in between, and then like I would say probably just like having like high like good volume too, like just being able to like have like different sizes, different styles, and like make sure that they carry like everything, even if it's like the same like actual shirt, like they have different sizes and they have different like kind of variations of that, so that everyone can kind of get a little bit of what they want.
Okay. And so if you had to describe like fast fashion in a sentence, how would you describe it?
Like in one sentence, I would say probably like it's a place that you go to fit in. So like you kind of go there to like you see someone with like a similar shirt, like you're like, oh, I could go to H&M and get that shirt. You know what I mean? Like you don't really like get to like look different at like H&M just because they have like so like it's just very like everything's very similar. So like you can't really get away from that, and then you just kind of end up looking like everyone else would.
So in terms of fashion, like which stores are like your favorite overall?
Just overall, I would say like, I mean, I definitely am like a big like department store guy. So like just like Macy's or Nordstrom's, like somewhere that just has like a lot of like good options, and like different brands, so that you can kind of like get like all your shopping done at once and not like, get to see like different like variations of clothing and like different styles and different colors and different stuff like that. So I definitely like that aspect, just because like I usually don't know what I want. Like if I'm going shopping, I usually don't have like an exact sense of what I want. So like it's good to like see like different things. So I definitely say like I mostly shop at like department stores, or like kind of like not high fashion or like high like expensive, like highly expensive, but like kind of like the tier below that, where like you can tell like it's like better quality, but it's not like needlessly like marked up to like be like like I'm not wearing like Louis Vuitton shit. Yeah. Like I'm wearing like stuff that's like it's a name brand, but it's not. It's not like unaffordable or anything crazy. Like it's very just like everyday like stores.
Okay. So. Yep. So that's the main questions that I had for you today. I just wanted to thank you for coming in. Thank you for talking.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, just wanted to just like reiterate like this. This will be on YouTube for a little bit, just for my professor to see.
Yeah, that's fine.
Heads up. Thank you so much. Do you have any last comments you'd like to say?
I don't think so. I think that kind of got everything out there. So, no, thank you for letting me do this.
All right, thank you. All right, have a good one.